Good morning, traders. May the 4th be with you. This is the DAX morning briefing. We're going to jump straight into the technical analysis, and we'll start off with a session replay of yesterday, and we'll take a look at and see on in the second half what kind of ideas maybe I'm looking to play with at the moment. We've got the basic swings to just mark out first of all, and you can sort of see pretty clearly with your own eyes that you've got this slow grinding trend that started to develop, started to compress in here, a little bit of a wedge pattern or a wedge formation beginning to form there. It broke, got a retest on the underside of that, but the trend essentially continued. So if we just kind of ignore that little part there, and the trend started to compress a little bit around about here, and we had this action was break from the normal trajectory of what this trend was doing. It then accelerated, which generally tends to signal a bit of an exhaustion of that swing. And then that's pretty much what happened here. You can just draw a little trade, a little line just on the underside of that, and you'll notice a couple of things. So what I particularly liked was this little formation in here, which looked a little bit like a balance point. Excuse me, I'll get a different tool to do that. Looked like a bit of a balance point, a zigzag there. Can you see it? Hopefully you can. And you'll spot that price had a nice sort of even rhythm, even flow around that little zone. So I'm talking about this particular area in here. And I also liked another thing as well. I like the fact that there was a touch just there on the underside of this particular line here that I've drawn. And the other thing I spotted is that this particular zigzag that I've drawn over here, if you measure that particular area there to there, let's just go and get a tool and do that now. Just clear up all of these lines. If you go and get a tool to measure the distance from that swing, have a look at where that zigzag falls. There you go, there's a little swing. And there's the zigzag, balance point. So that was interesting. And from there, we pretty much compressed into this coil. And again, we talked about coils yesterday morning in the video. And the bit that pokes out of the top of this little coil, it's happened twice. It happened on the gap open this morning, and it also happened on a retest. I'm talking about that little area there. But if you go and pull a line from this zone where that particular wedge pattern formed and just draw it across, you'll spot that it's the same area. I can probably do that more accurately with one of these tools here. There you go, and see how that is an interesting zone. So we'll have a look and see how we continue to play and continue to react through this level. So that's pretty much what I was looking at on this chart. That's the 250 tick chart. I'm going to spend a little bit more time now taking a look at this 20-minute chart, because I've got this idea here, which is one of the first ideas that I was playing around with. It's just a simple bullish ACR line set, and there are probably a couple of things to just mention out on this one. So for example, I've taken what would have been, I can probably just break down each of these individual little sections, and I'll just draw on the screen as I'm doing it. So the first part of this line was to really draw this MPL, this multi-pivot line. It was a resistance line, a couple of touches on it, but you draw a straight line out through and just it will ray out towards the end over here. And then you take your action point. So the action point on this particular line set was that. It was starting to kind of briefly run through, and all of a sudden, boom, there's your action. And then from there, you plot an opposite and equal reaction line based around the center line. And that would form some kind of, if you like, forecasted spot up here. So once you've got that line, or that line set in here, what I then did is I drew or measured the distances between those two swings and then forecasted it out. You'll notice this line down the bottom here. And then it forecasts that being the area which it might get to. And on the way, it would form some form of zigzag. So it's pretty speculative, but we'll see whether or not that is a pattern that plays out. And that would then form this kind of two-leg swing. So that's the first idea. That's a bullish idea. The other idea that I looked at, probably have to just do this from memory. Let's just take a look here. Let's just get rid of all the lines, which we should be doing pretty often anyway. Maybe zoom out a little bit more and just draw the major swings out on this 20-minute chart. Don't particularly like the fact that we've got this unusual non-alternating What I mean by that is this isn't a higher high. It's actually a higher low, but then it gets taken out. So it's just an unusual bit of behavior. And I'm sure some people might sort of draw their harmonic patterns and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really do that. I don't really understand the use of the harmonics on a market like the DAX. So I don't think there's really anything to read into that. However, what I had done is drawn another ACR line set, but this time it was a bearish idea. And the idea was to be drawn around. Again, let's just mark these out. I want to take this area here, connect it up to that, to draw a line through there. That will create a multi-pivot line. You then sort of look at what the swing's doing. You've got action here. So then you're looking for an opposite and equal reaction on the other side. That's the idea. And then we're kind of going to measure the distance between this, and then forecast it to see whether that meant anything, and then maybe another one on the other end. So, so that's kind of the idea. I'll get rid of these drawings in a moment, but let's just put the lines over it first. So let's just draw out this swing, which would probably be in there somewhere. It's quite difficult to draw over the lines. Probably should have deleted them first. And I think we said we're going to get some sort of time tool as well. So let's just do that. It's more just to remind me of what I'm trying to draw out here. Let's maybe take it to this guy here. And look at that. Look at that. All right. And just measure this swing out here. This reaction leg. And get a duplicate over there. All right. So let's get rid of these lines that you can see all over the screen here. And let's see how it looks. Okay, so the area I'm looking for is that. And what I've done is I've measured the distance between this swing and that swing. Well, it's actually the ignition point of that swing specifically. We had a mini gap, bit of a retracement, and then zoom, started to move. So that was the ignition. That's the area I want to measure. And when you forecast it over, have a look at this. It's exactly on the money. It's exactly on the money. It's really, really, really nice to see that. So that was the ignition point from the mini move down, the ignition point from the higher move, and then again, just kind of forecast it out. So we'll see whether or not that rhythm plays any kind of picture on the way towards completing a two-leg move below this center line to complete a reaction line down here. So again, completely opposite idea when we consider that the first one was based on this, and let's just say it was that. You know, it looked like a decent move to the upside, but actually, in the grand scheme of things, it's the bearish idea that's much, much wider. So that is what I'm looking at the moment. Hope that all makes sense. Just to give you an update, it's Friday, so I'm not going to be around on Monday. It's bank holiday here in the UK, so I'm not going to be providing a video or an article. But for the premium guys, I will be doing some bits and pieces, and I'll be around to answer questions and things like that. But won't be doing the usual broadcasts. I've also made quite a lot of progress on the swing trading course, got a lot of recordings now for that. So making some really, really good progress. That's going to be available to selected members as well. And if you're interested in learning more about this terminology and how to apply these tools and how to understand all the jargon involved and really start to improve your trading business properly, then it might be worth taking a look into that when it's ready. Now, the programming and coding course is making progress as well. We're going to be taking a look at things that have been around for a little while, but we're looking at coding scripts, indicators, and expert advisors on MetaTrader. And we can apply those skills to things like NinjaTrader and other Sierra charts that we're looking at in front of us that use a similar programming language. And we're also going to be completing this blockchain course as well. And that's going to be looking into the fundamentals of the blockchain technology, use cases for the blockchain technology, of course, cryptocurrencies, which is what pretty much everybody associates with blockchain these days. But of course, there's a lot more than that. And that is semi-available already for premium members. So if you are not already subscribed and you want to find out more about the services that we offer here, then go and take a look at the pages, the About Dax Trader Premium pages, find out more about that, find out more about our performance, get some reviews and things like that, and get some more information if you need it. Away from that, if you want to contact me, then there's a link below to get hold of me on Telegram. If you like what we're doing here on the YouTube side of things, make sure you like the videos and subscribe to the channel. and support us as best as you can, guys. All right. Hope you have a great weekend and a great trading day. And we'll catch up with you here again on Tuesday. Take care.